You are scrolling through the comments section of a product you just bought. Maybe it is a new phone, a smart appliance, or a subscription service. You scroll past dozens of glowing reviews, feeling a warm validation of your choice. Then you see it, a scathing 1-star review, detailing every flaw. Your stomach tightens. Your finger hovers, then quickly scrolls away, searching for another 5-star rating to reaffirm your excellent judgment. Or perhaps you are deep into a book, an email, or even a YouTube video, and you realize you have lost interest, the content is not what you expected, or it is simply bad. But you have already invested 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. You keep reading, keep watching, somehow convinced that it will get better, that your time will not be wasted. Your brain is not simply being stubborn in these moments. It is engaging in an elaborate, often unconscious defense mechanism. It is protecting you, not from physical harm or external threats, but from something far more insidious to your internal sense of self, the discomfort of being wrong, the sting of wasted effort, the cold dread of regret. This is not a flaw in your thinking. It is a fundamental, deeply ingrained drive that often compels your mind to double down on decisions, even when every logical signal screams for you to turn back. This mental gymnastics has a name. It is called cognitive dissonance, a concept first articulated by psychologist Leon Festinger in the 1950s. Festinger proposed that when you hold two conflicting ideas, beliefs, or attitudes at the same time, or when your actions contradict your beliefs, you experience an uncomfortable psychological tension. Your brain, being a master problem solver, immediately seeks to reduce this dissonance. It cannot easily undo the action you have already taken, so it often changes or reinterprets one of your beliefs to bring them back into alignment. Think about a classic experiment. Participants are asked to perform an incredibly boring, repetitive task for an hour. Afterwards, some are paid $1 to tell the next participant that the task was actually interesting and enjoyable. Others are paid $20 to do the same. When later asked how much they genuinely enjoyed the task, the participants paid only $1 rated the task as significantly more enjoyable than those paid $20. Why? The $20 group had a clear external justification for their lie, the money. They experienced little dissonance. But the $1 group had a meager justification for lying about something so tedious. Their actions lying contradicted their beliefs, the task was boring. To reduce this uncomfortable dissonance, their brains subtly shifted their belief, convincing themselves that the task was not so bad after all. They doubled down on the false positive by actually changing their internal perception. This internal realignment is just one facet of why you persist. Another powerful force is the sunk cost fallacy. This is the phenomenon where your decision to continue an endeavor is influenced by the money, time, or effort you have already invested, even if continuing is objectively irrational. The renowned behavioral economists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, through their groundbreaking work on prospect theory, showed us that humans are inherently loss-averse. The pain of losing something feels more intense than the pleasure of gaining an equivalent amount. Once you have sunk resources into a path, abandoning it feels like a loss, a waste, an admission of failure. Your brain, recoiling from this feeling, nudges you to keep going, to justify the previous investment by pouring in even more. Imagine you are at a concert. You paid a significant amount for the ticket. The band comes on, and they are terrible. The music is not what you expected, the sound quality is awful, and you are not enjoying yourself. Logically, the best thing to do is leave. Your enjoyment of the rest of your evening will likely improve if you find something else to do. But you stay. You watch the entire set, perhaps even standing through the encore, convincing yourself that since you paid for it, you must get your money's worth. The money you spent is a sunk cost. It is gone whether you stay or leave. Yet, your brain refuses to accept that loss. It makes you persist in an unpleasant experience, rather than simply accepting the initial cost as gone and moving on. This tendency to double down is further amplified by confirmation bias. Your brain is not a neutral observer, it is an active filter. Once you have committed to a decision, your mind actively seeks out information that supports that decision and conveniently ignores or downplays information that contradicts it. You scroll past the negative review, remember the glowing testimonials. You find tiny signs of improvement in your failing venture, dismissing the mountain of evidence to the contrary. This selective perception creates a self-reinforcing echo chamber within your own head, making it incredibly difficult to objectively reassess your course. Consider a professional scenario. You are a project manager who championed a specific software rollout. Early data suggests it is not performing as expected, user adoption is low, and bugs are rampant. Admitting defeat and switching to an alternative would save the company time and money in the long run. But you have invested months of your time, presented countless reports, and convinced senior leadership. The thought of admitting you were wrong, of having wasted resources, triggers intense cognitive dissonance. So you push harder. You find anecdotes of success, you rationalize away the failures, you argue for just a little more time to prove its worth. You are doubling down, not because it is the best decision for the project, but because it is the easiest decision for your internal narrative. The counterintuitive twist here is that the very mechanisms designed to protect your ego and save you from the discomfort of regret are often the ones driving you deeper into a hole. Your brain's self-defense mechanisms, honed over millennia to maintain a coherent self-image and conserve energy, are not always serving your best long-term interests in a complex modern world. They can blind you to alternative paths, prevent you from learning from mistakes, and trap you in commitments that no longer serve you. This phenomenon is not limited to grand life choices or major financial investments. It permeates your daily existence. It shapes your political views, making you cling to opinions even when confronted with compelling counter-evidence. It influences your relationships, keeping you invested in dynamics that are clearly unhealthy because of the emotional effort you have already expended. It dictates your shopping habits, your career moves, even the smallest justifications you make for your own behavior. Once you understand these underlying drives, you begin to see them everywhere. That initial flicker of discomfort when you encounter a conflicting review or the stubborn refusal to admit a wrong turn isn't a sign of weakness. It is an echo of your brain's powerful, ancient drive to protect your self-narrative. Understanding this doesn't make you immune to doubling down, but it gives you a tiny, crucial window to pause, to question, and perhaps to choose a different path